Hello everyone, my name is Sora Kang from HCID Lab at Seoul National University here. Today I'll be presenting my work, Theatrical Language Processing, exploring AI-Augmented improvisational acting and scriptwriting with LLMs. So let's get started. So starting with the overview, is it better to use the microphone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so starting with the overview of this study, AI is transforming many facets of our society, and it is now even helping with creative work. In this study, we introduced the concept of theatrical language processing, TLP, a specialization designed for the context of theater. And secondly, we present Scribble.ai, a prototype tool that stretches actors' imaginations by generating improv-purpose scripts. And thirdly, we share findings from user study on how such tools should be designed for theatrical settings. So over the last decade, AI tools helped us work faster. They could summarize text, translate languages, and etc. And now they have moved into the creative space. Now we have writing assistants, image generators, music co-writers. But one creative field is still missing out, theater. So that gap is exactly why we started this project. So why do we focus on actors? Is that from Stanislavski through Meissner, most of major theater theorists agree on one thing: acting is doing, not pretending. A script gives only the basic lines. Actors must add the background behind those lines and the feelings under the world. For example, let's say there is a 40-year-old character. They did not just pop up into their life at age 40. So we as actors need to invent the 40 years that came before, memories, choices, everything, and let those past experiences show up in how we talk and move. So, and this whole process takes creativity. So how do actors train that creativity muscle? It's through improvisation. So improv takes the bare outline of a scene and forces us to fill in the backstory, the subtext, and the emotion all in real time. And there are some traditional improv exercises such as attitude or spelling games, etc. And the trouble here is that the exercise list is limited and you always need a coach to run it. And after a while, the patterns feel familiar and you may see the prompts coming. But LLM can instead create endless and unexpected situations in seconds, and we believed that that steady stream of new material keeps an actor's creativity challenged, stretched, and ready for anything. So now we come to theatrical language processing, or TLP. Traditional NLP cares about producing text that is grammatically correct and makes literal sense. But TLP has a different target. Its sentences should invite interpretation, which means, in other words, we don't just want the model to finish a paragraph, we want it to hand actors lines that leave space for imagination. So our first prop into TLP is Scribble.ai. That's how I named it. And this is how the Scribble.ai looks like. It works in 3 steps: idea, conversation, and script types. So in the first step, they type a few keywords or short phrases that set the scene. And in the conversation step, they chat with the AI asking for changes or new tweets until they like the result. And for the script type step, they click finalize button and download the clean stage-ready text file. In short, Scribble.ai is a creativity helper for actors. It can give you either a dialogue scene or a monologue. So using that tool, they can get a script that's ready for your improv session. So to find out whether Scribble.ai really helps and what actors actually think and about working with AI, we ran a 4-hour workshop. We invited 10 professional actors plus 4 directors, acting coaches from the same theater company. So task 1 asked them to distinguish human written scripts from AI generated ones, and task 2 had them create and perform the scenes using Scribble.ai followed by semi-structured interview. So let's move on to what we found throughout the user study. So firstly, let me show you what our actors saw in task 1. On the screen, you can see 2 short scenes, 1 and 2, and one of them was written by a human writer, and the other was by AI. I'll pause for a moment, so take a quick look and guess which is which. I will give you maybe 15 seconds. And as I said on the script, participants easily distinguish them. So I guess we don't have enough time here, so I will give you this answer. The answer is the one on the right is the generated by AI. Okay? So I'm not sure how easy that little quiz felt for you, but for our workshop group member, it was a breeze, literally. So almost every actor guessed the AI script quite easily. And here's what they said. So firstly, detail versus freedom. The AI version was packed with clear context, who knows whom and what they feel, even why they feel it. That makes the scene simple to follow, but it also leaves very little empty space for an actor's own imagination. The human script, by contrast, was structurally open-ended. That open structure forced the actors to invent backstory and subtext. Second, the stereotypes they had was, for example, if they spot a typo, they say that must be a human. And if they found stiff, old-fashioned wording, they said that must be the computer. So one actor summed it up quite perfectly. They said the AI script made the scene easier, but he said, I'm not sure like easier means better. So from the start, we see a trade-off. AI gives clarity and speed, but at the cost of some creative breathing space. And during the second section, improvisational acting with the tool, the actors tried to break the system right away. They added contradictions like happy but sad, or random combos such as chair, clown, Napoleon. And the AI never says no. Whatever prompt you give it, even something wild like a medieval bar fight that's interrupted by a flying saucer, it hands back a complete scene. So those surprise twists break actors out of their routine and make them improvise connections on the spot. And they told us their imagination got a real workout and their adaptability showed up. So in short, the endless stream of strange prompts kept their creative muscles stretched. As a limitation, one big spot is that the AI often spoon-feeds emotion. It writes lines like, crying sadly, I feel miserable, which leaves zero space for subtext. And P6 said it took away the choice of how to show the feeling. And they also want more ways to drive the tool. Voice prompts would be more natural than typing, and a quick toggle for conflict level or stakes would help shape the scene. And thirdly, the coaches asked for more ambiguity. They brought the term neutral scene, scripts with only the bare essentials, like who, where, and maybe one motive. The rest is blank, so actors have to create backstory and emotion a lot. And finally, they also noticed the model were indeed great at writing stories about objects, probably because the data set is packed with facts about things. That opens an unexpected door to object-centered place, where a phone or a chair could become the lead character. These observations lead to 4 design insights to us. So first, leave some air in the script. The AI hands over much detail. The scene feels complete on paper, which means there's less room for the performer to invent subtext. So design insight number 1 is to dial back the explicit cues, give hints, not answers. And one of actors offered an idea, swap the emotion, give the AI a prompt like happy, then ask it to flip the character's inner feeling to sad, but keep the exact lines. Saying, I'm so happy to be here with you under the sad or depressed emotion, it will give a chance to the actor to build strong subtext behind. And thirdly, objects as leads. The model already writes great scenes about things, maybe because the data set. Tuning those prompts into full characters could freshen the state. And finally, we could add a detail slider so users can pick how much context they want, minimal hints for open play, or rich detail for quick rehearsal. So let me wrap up in 3 quick points here. So this paper has introduced the new concept of theatrical language processing, TLP, and Scribble.ai successfully generated creative and unique scripts for improv activity. And through the user study, we derived design implications for adapting these tools to theatrical settings. So we envision continued collaboration and innovation at the intersection of AI and theater. So through ongoing refinement of TLP models, integration of user feedback, and exploration of emergent technologies, we strive to unlock new possibilities for storytelling, performance, and audience engagements. So this effort aims to create fresh forms of storytelling and performance where human intuition and AI suggestion work together, ultimately expanding what is possible on today's stage and deepening audience engagement. So thank you for your attention. Now I look forward to your questions you may have. Thank you.